So Jez, how does it feel to sign for Chesterfield Football Club?
I mean, it's a surreal feeling. Obviously, I played on Tuesday. Obviously, played against Chesterfield, and I didn't think too much of it. Obviously, I just come in, played for just another game of football, really. And then the next day, obviously, spoke to the manager, Paul Cook, and it all just come from there, really. And I've got no words. Obviously, it's my first time. Obviously, signing for a club this big, and I just can't wait to get going.
Obviously, a surreal weekend, like you say. You know, playing against Chesterfield on the Saturday, signing on the Monday. How ready are you to get going and start training with the lads and ready for the National League season?
I mean, it would be my first season in National League, so it's something I'm really looking forward to. I'm excited because obviously there's a lot of good teams, a lot of good players. So I know I need to step up my game, but I'm really excited to get going. Obviously, really excited to meet the lads because I've not been able to meet them properly yet. But yeah, absolutely excited, yeah.
And obviously, we've been talking quite different background to what a lot of players that come here will have. Can you talk to us a bit about that background and obviously the AC Milan youth career?
Yeah, so I started my journey in Italy. So played for AC Milan there for a few years, and then obviously moved there. Had a bit of a rough start, I'd say, with football. Been on a few trials here and there, and I'd say quite big clubs. Obviously, mentioned like Brentford, who are in the Prem now, Wigan, Sheffield Wednesday. So I've had a few stints here and there. It's just not worked out for them, but worked out for me. But I'd say this is the right place for me. I'd say this is where I want to be now, and it's obviously a good step in my career, and hopefully I can push on from there.
And can you tell us a bit about obviously transitioning from Italian football to then playing for like those clubs that you said on trial, and then down into non-league football? Can you tell us about that transition? Well,
I'd say Italian football's a lot more defensive, a lot more tactical stuff goes into it. But as I'm a forward player, I like to get on the ball, and obviously I like to drive at people. I think the English football suits me a lot better, and I can see that. But at the same time, I feel like in the youth kind of thing in Italy compared to here, I think it's a lot more different. I think in non-league clubs here, you won't train a lot on a weekly basis, but there you're training at least 4 times a week. So I think there's a bit difference in that. But apart from that, I'd say this is where you want to be football-wise, and everyone's dream is to play in the Premier League, and hopefully I can get there one day.
And obviously, the last year spent at Matlock Town, they had a fantastic season, getting into the playoffs and just missing out on promotion to the National League North. How's it been at the Proctor Stadium, and how has the manager Paul Phillips helped you develop?
I mean, Paul Phillips is probably one of the hardest managers I've worked with, and I think that's a good thing. Obviously, he's pushed me, and obviously I think he's improved me as a player. But I think it's not just him. I think everyone around him, staff-wise. Obviously, I'll mention Cade. He's been a big part in my football, and he's helped me a lot to develop as a player. But I mean, the atmosphere when I played for Matlock was brilliant. Obviously, it's a great ground, great fans, and I'd say I was lucky to play for such a club. So yeah.
And for people that maybe haven't seen you play as much, how would you describe yourself as a player?
I'd describe myself as explosive, very quick, bit of a flary player. I like to, entertain the crowd. I've got an eye for an assist. I've got an eye for a goal. But ultimately, I just like to enjoy my football, and as well, because I'm young, I just like to push on.
And lastly, do you have a message for the Spireites?
I think my message would be, I can't wait to obviously meet the fans. I can't wait to meet everyone, and I can't wait to make memories in this beautiful ground here. So, and hopefully push this club on to obviously where it should be, and I hope I can play a big part in that.